We should be live now, Dirk. So we
Yeah,
live.
said the stream is live.
So, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wolf. Obviously, this is my first live back from losing the Wolf Solidified channel. And I'm talking to one of my peoples, 330, who is a big Atlanta Falcon fan. One of the biggest that I know. PSL super fan. And when I talked to him about the Super Bowl, it was interesting that he told me that he had went to the Super Bowl. So we're going to discuss a little bit about that. Dirk, I want to start with the Green Bay Packer game. What's up, Poppin? The Green Bay Packer game, the last game in the dome, in the Georgia Dome. Take me through that game at the end of it, walking out, and we winning 44-21. Take me through those feelings right there. Take me to that feeling right there.
Receipt.
Yeah.
Receipts.
I love that. Take me to the feeling with 44-21. We've dominated the game. Take me to that feeling walking out of that last game of that stadium.
First of all, remember this now.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big promotion, celebration, whatever you want to call it, because it was the last game from that in the Georgia Dome.
Right.
And we had just beat Seattle.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So what's up, Wallace?
What's up?
So we had just so it was building up.
Right.
And I think from what I remember, when Julio broke that long touchdown, that place was rocking from then till it was time to leave.
Right.
And I was kind of stunned, man, because now my mind was going back to 98.
Right.
99.
Right.
From the last Super Bowl.
Sure.
And man, it was just, the energy was crazy.
Right.
It was just crazy. Nobody was going home. Everybody was just hanging out. Everybody was getting hyped. The people that was from out of town, I guess our agenda was different.
Right.
But, we kind of hung out. And I went back to where I was staying at and just kind of wind down whenever I did go to sleep, because I had to drive the next morning to get ready to come back home. And the funny thing about that was that I was working at the time, and my supervisor called me on my phone, and he said, "How many days you need off?"
Yeah.
So everybody was happy for me. The city was lit.
Right.
Right. And I was almost going on 10 years in on being. We were season ticket holders back then.
Gotcha.
At the Georgia Dome, you were season ticket holders.
Gotcha.
Then when we went into the Ben Stadium, we had to become PSL owners.
Okay.
Or whatever you want to call it.
So how long were you a season ticket holder at the old stadium?
I started at 2008.
2008. Okay.
Now, let me make a quick disclaimer.
Okay, yeah.
When we're talking about the season tickets and and PSL owners, everything that I'm saying is based on my experience,
right,
and my preparation and what I had to do. Because being a fan of the Falcons, man, there's different levels.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You got some people that don't want to go to games.
Right.
They want to stay home. They want to watch the game. They're fans.
Right.
But then you got people that, like me, says, you know what? I want to take it another step forward, because I will go to games from time to time.
Sure.
So I think what happens is it depends on what type of commitment you want to make to your fandom.
Well, if you have the financial means to
Right. That's what I'm
be able
saying.
to do that. Right. Yeah, sure, definitely.
So
So you were from 2008, so from '08, so you kind of went through that period of watching different quarterbacks as well before the Matt Ryan era.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was going off and on even when Vic was there, you know, and that's really what made me. Become a season ticket holder, because economics.
Okay. So
You know, you were buying tickets
right.
for one game, wherein if you made the right investment and got your money right, you could stretch it out over for a whole season.
Okay. So now we're at the Green Bay. People are cheering. They're going crazy. How does a PSL holder like you be able to get tickets for the Super Bowl? How does that?
Hey man, contrary to belief,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they say that NFL is a business, and all of the owners, they're in the business, whatever. And sometimes you get lost in they're only concerned about shareholders and the people that are in the suites and the people that have the $100,000 PSLs.
Right.
But shout out to Mr. Blank, man.
Okay.
When I was on my way back home from the next day from after the Green Bay game, I got a phone call, and it was 407. I was like, I ain't gonna answer it.
Right.
But then I got a text, and it said, you know, Falcons going to the Super Bowl. Would you like to put your name in a pool for Super Bowl tickets?
Wow.
I was like, whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I got a phone call, and they said, you were selected to get, and however many seats you had, to get, and I had 2 seats. Okay. You can get 2 tickets at cost.
Okay.
So you want to?
So at cost, at the PSL price.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Super Bowl. For the Super Bowl now.
For the Super Bowl, right? For the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for the Super Bowl. And if you look at the tickets that you got on the thumbnail, you can see the price at the bottom.
Sure.
So, but here was the catch.
Okay.
So I called them. I'm excited. I'm saying, man, it's a scam, whatever. I called them, and I said, what do I need to do to pay for the tickets? Send me the tickets. Right. They said, nah, you got to come and get the tickets.
Right.
You had 2 different dates to pick up the tickets.
Okay.
So I told them when I was coming, so I had to do a turnaround because I was off for 1 day.
Okay.
So I had to drive back to Atlanta, go down to a part of the Georgia Dome that I have never been, went down there and pick up my paperwork for the tickets and pay for the tickets.
How excited were you at that point?
Oh, man. I was still stunned, man. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. But I was just going through the motions, man. I was excited. And but once I got them tickets in my hand, I knew
it was real.
It was real. It was real.
Okay. So I don't want to get into the game yet, but were you offered money for those tickets?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When people found out I was going, they were telling me, man, you can do this, you can do that. Man, look on StubHub, look at Ticketmaster, and look at this and that. You could sell the tickets because they gave us physical tickets.
Right.
That's how I was able to, you know. But there's no way.
What was like the most highest offer you got for the ticket? What was one of the offers?
3,800, bro.
Wow. So you could have really tripled your money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got offered 3,800 a pop for a piece for 2 tickets.
2 tickets. So you figure, right? If Atlanta hadn't been to the Super Bowl since '98,
yeah,
a lot of things had changed, right?
Right.
So
A lot of things have changed.
a lot of things had changed, right? So do you going into the game, were you worried about the New England Patriots? Like, was this something that you said, yo, like, we got this in the bag? Or because the way our offense was, that's what I thought. I thought, okay, we got a high power offense. Our defense wasn't as great, but I went into that game thinking, yo, we got a shot. Like, we definitely got a shot. How did you feel about the game? Like, before we get to that, how did you feel about that?
I was quiet, man. I was, with the respect of Belichick, Brady, just the whole
Yeah,
persona.
yeah,
Even while, even before the game, man, just walking around and seeing it, man, them Patriot fans, man, they was like, we got it. We got it. We got
right.
it. So I didn't say too much.
Okay.
I'm just being quiet because I'm like, boy, don't let us win this Super Bowl here.
So you was nervous.
I was nervous, man.
Yeah, so was I, man. So I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous too. But here's the thing that was kind of crazy on my end was, so I had a friend who was a Green Bay fan. I never host parties at my house, 30. Never. I never host football parties never did it. But that year, because we were so good and we were just kicking A all over the place, I was like, man, you know what? Let me invite people to the house. So I had a Green Bay fan. He was sick. And I had family from Boston here at the house Super Bowl day. Like, they were here. So I was a little nervous myself, just like you, because of the Brady, Belichick. I thought that, obviously, watching them for 20 plus years, I was like, okay, we need to start off fast, is what I thought. So I was very nervous. So obviously the Super Bowl is not at your house. So tell me about the travel. Did you travel? Did you stay at the hotels? Tell me about the travel time for you. What was that like for you?
Well, the tickets were reasonable. But like I said, each experience is different. And me
Right.
being my travel, whatever, me and my partner that we went, Dev, shout out to Devil Dog.
Yeah.
We had an old Marine buddy, old Marine buddy that lived in Houston.
Right.
And if anybody out there, Marine, you already know what the deal is. All you gotta do is make that call.
Salute to
It's a done deal.
Yes, sir. Salute
So
to
our friend, our Marine buddy told us, come on.
Right.
Just get there. He'll take care of the rest.
Gotcha.
So the only thing we had to do was really fly there, rent a car.
Okay.
Everything else is taken care of. So
okay. Now
we're ducking a lot of financial.
Yeah.
Hurt.
And a lot of people don't know. My son is a Houston, Texas fan. Houston has some of the greatest barbecue on planet Earth over there. Some of the greatest restaurants, over there in Houston. It's a very, very beautiful city. So, night before the Super Bowl, what's your energy? What's your energy? Like, tell me the night before. 3:30 something in Marines, Mr. Wallace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Marine Corps.
Yes, sir. So
Paris Island, Camp Lejeune, Beirut.
Yes, sir. So tell me about the energy before the night of the game. Tell me what's going on with you. Tell me what did you go to parties? Did you see a lot of Falcon fans out there? What was the energy like out there?
Yeah, it was a lot of Falcon fans there. What we did, we went down. They had what you call an NFL experience downtown.
Wow.
And a lot of people went there. And when we found out where the hotel where the players were staying, we went and kind of hung out, and we saw a lot of the players going in and out of the hotel. And we kind of just went around and just went through the NFL experience. And we had planned to come out the next day early, so we didn't stay out late. But we was ready to go to the game, bro.
That's
A lot of celebrities, a lot of football greats just walking around, you shaking hands, and if you recognize them,
right.
And it was a good experience. But the anticipation was kind of getting to us. But like I said, I was nervous, bro.
Sure.
I was very nervous.
Listen, you going up against one of the greatest coaches, one of the greatest quarterbacks. Like for me, I was just like, but I was like, yo, if we have a shot, we have a shot this year, because our offense was just so high powered. It was such a high powered offense that I said to myself, I said, okay, and then look, we're gonna get to the game. We're gonna get to the game, but it's for me. This is why I like having this type of conversations, Dirty. And the reason why is because I want people to realize that a good organization figures out problems fast. It's going on 10 years to try to figure it out. And then even then, one good year for Michael Penix doesn't mean anything. It don't mean nothing.
I'm not going to get excited.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Wallace said he was in the Navy. Of course, man. 306 Marines in the camp. I'm retired Navy man. Hey, man, salute to
Mr. But shout out to Wallace Smith, man. We were tight with our corpsmen. I played a lot of football with corpsmen. Right. They took care of us in the field.
Yes, sir. Salute to all the armed services. I got family that's still active. Wolf the Dirty Family New Era is here. Atlanta Falcons.
Georgia, Texas, boy.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, if they rise up, that's cool. I always tell you.
Man.
You, boy, they better rise up or they better wolf up.
That's his handle right there. And Blackberry say Georgia, Texas, boy, not necessarily of Georgia and Texas, and that ain't none of our business.
So you're going through the NFL experience. Everything is happening. We're at the Super Bowl. Are you drinking? What are you doing? Tell me what's going on. What are you doing tonight?
Man, everybody else is doing the drinking for me. I don't drink.
Right.
But I was flat out sober, but it was like I was floating, man. I was floating.
Right.
And but see, now you had like the different networks. They were doing their booths and they had Deion Sanders was there.
Gotcha.
In his booth, it was Fox,
right,
ESPN,
right,
CNN, all of them were there, and you walking around,
right,
and
was that where Robert Kraft and Arthur Blank was doing the interview?
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that.
Okay, yeah, I think it was I think it's what you're talking about is when Arthur Blank and Robert Kraft were both getting interviewed by the NFL Network at that time. Yeah. And I don't even know if the NFL Network was how it is now. This is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Things have evolved so much, like in the NFL since the 2016 season.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's evolved so much. So, okay, so you're hanging out, you're chilling. Are Patriot fans talking crazy to you at this point? Are they shouting anything? Are they
no, they were nice, but they was like,
okay,
we got to go.
Right.
Y'all know what it's gonna be. We got it. And I was like, I don't know. We got to play the game. Game. But they had a swag, man. They had a championship pedigree swag.
Right.
That you can only get.
They wasn't worried about nothing.
They wasn't worried about nothing.
Nothing.
Trust me.
Okay.
And when we get into this story, I'll tell you why.
Yeah. So I just want people to understand because I couldn't sleep here at the house. I couldn't sleep. Right. I was having a good time at the house. I had the '98 Falcon jacket on. I was like, yo, listen, man, like this is it. My son at this time, Dirty, my son, my youngest son, had just turned 2 years old. He had just turned 2, right? He was born in 2015. Excuse me, 2015. So my youngest son, your cousin won a Super Bowl team. Salute to your cousin, man, Mr. Toxic Black. Salute to your cousin. So my son was 2 years old. I couldn't sleep, Dirt. Everybody in the chat, listen, I could not sleep. I couldn't, because for me, it was one of the most exciting times as a grown-up for me, because they hadn't done that since 98. And in 98, I was like an adolescent going into my 20s. You know what I'm saying? So they hadn't done nothing, okay, since then, okay? So I said to myself, okay, we're on and popping, we're gonna go. Now, we at the game. You at the game now, at the stadium. You're walking in. What is the energy like at that stadium? What was it like? What did you feel walking into it? Did you say a prayer? Were you know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Vic Beasley. Go ahead, Dirk.
Oh, Vic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Vic. So tell me about the walking into that stadium the day of. Tell me walking in.
Man, it was like, it took me forever to get to my seat, man, but it was crowded. And like I said, man, the air with that Patriot swag was so thick.
Wow.
You didn't make no noise. You just you wanted to ease in,
right,
hope to win. Then we was gonna get loud.
Right.
You know, hey man, good luck. You know, but they was like, we got this. We got it.
Okay.
Patriots, we got it.
So obviously you have the theatrics, you have the whatever. You get to your seat with your buddy. Shout out to Devil Dog. What's his name?
Dog.
Devil Dog. Shout out to Devil Dog. Right? You get there, get to your seat, theatrics, the Pledge of Allegiance, all of that. It's about to be kickoff. What's going through your head at that point? Right there. What's going on there? Right there.
It was anticipation then. It was anticipation. How are we going to come out? Are we going to score? Right. You know, if we, the number one thing that we did not want to do was get behind.
Right. Right.
Because we knew that Belichick was the master of clock management.
Sure.
We didn't want to get behind, and I'm taking it play by play. I'm not trying to get too excited, because remember now, even though we were there, I was 10 years in almost 10 years in. So the ups and downs, I didn't want to say here we go again.
Right.
But as you remember early on, man, we was doing well.
Okay. So again, and everybody that's watching. So I haven't been able to watch the game at all.
Oh no.
So I haven't watched it since it happened.
I will not.
Right. And I think a lot of Falcon fans probably can't sit through that and rewatch anyway. So I'm gonna take Dirty to 3 key points of the game. And he's gonna take you through his points. I just want 3 key points for him because he was at the game. The first point is now, if I'm not mistaken, the interception that Brady threw for 6.
That was big.
Okay. Talk about that play. Talk about that play right there.
That was the play, because they was driving.
Right.
They were driving. They were doing, and I said, here they come.
Right.
When that interception was made,
right,
I started to relax.
Okay.
I said we might have something here.
Yes, sir.
So now I'm starting to rub my hands together. I'm Birdman now. I'm like, okay.
Yes, sir.
We might have something here.
How was the crowd though? Like you seeing Patriot fans, how did they react to that play? If you can remember.
The Falcon fans rose up,
Right.
and the Patriots, they was kind of coming down a little bit.
Coming down a little bit. Okay.
Because we had guys right all around us, and I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Here we go.
Right.
It was reminiscent of the Green Bay game. I was like, here we go.
Okay. So was it because did you feel like that because our defense wasn't elite that year? They weren't, I don't think they were top 10. But did you feel like they made that play and you were kind of like, oh, like if our defense show up and our offense is clicking, were you relaxed because you knew our offense was so open?
To be honest about it, my mind frame, I was looking at the score versus the time.
Okay.
And I was like, if we're going to slow the ball down the second half.
Okay.
And they're going to run out of time. And we're going to score at least another touchdown in the second half. That's what I was thinking. We're going to get one of those drives and we're going to score a touchdown in the second half. So I was like, mathematically, in my mind, it might be close. I don't care. I was like, I don't care what Brady do at this point.
Okay.
It is pretty much over.
Yeah.
Slitter.
Shout out to you, Slitter. I don't want to talk about it, but everybody else is talking about the 53 man. I don't want to talk about the 53 man roster split. I want to talk about the last time we were relevant was actually 2016, 2017 season. So, to talk to somebody who went to the game is a lot different because when you watch it on TV, I'm getting the emotions of the house. You got to remember this. Like I told people, there were people from Boston in my house. So I'm talking hella shit. I'm talking hella shit in the house. You know, my wife is telling me calm down. My son is he grabbing me, he throwing me around. When it came to that interception, the whole house was going crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was crazy.
It got so bananas for me. Now, here's another play. I told you I want to take you to 3 plays. Now, obviously there were so many plays, but these are the 3 plays that I remember distinctly. The second play was the Julio Jones catch. The famous Julio Jones catch, which I believe was in the second half of that game.
It was in the second half.
Right. So you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's watching, like I said, the game for me has been so much out of my memory that I only remember key things that happened. Because when they got the ball at the OT at the goal line, I literally stopped watching. I had to stop watching because and we'll get to that, but I'm just saying.
Right.
So the Julio Jones catch. Take me through that play. Take me through.
Okay, up to that point.
Right.
And I got to shout out OG Truth.
Okay.
If you're out there, he was the one that talked about this part of the game. So if you're out there, OG Truth, we still need to have that conversation about this. I got to go back. Go back a little bit on you before that play.
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay, when we went into halftime, there were some things that happened and I'm not going to get too far into it because I want me and OG Truth to have that conversation.
Right.
There were some things that happened during the halftime that had me puzzled.
Okay.
They do a lot. They did Lady Gaga. She did her thing. It was a little long. And there were some stats that were on the Jumbotron that favored the Patriots.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. What was that?
Yeah. But see, But see, they not gonna show that on TV. And I had a problem with that. I'm like, I think we was up what 25-3?
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. Because I think we scored 3 points in the second half. Anyway.
Right.
So now they come out after halftime. And like I said, truth, get it, hit me up, bro, because we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Belichick threw his playbook away. I saw him. Threw it in the trash can. He called the boys together. He started writing. I'm watching him.
Okay.
I was never looking at our sideline. I'm watching this guy.
Right.
Because I know if anybody can do something, it's gonna be Belichick and Brady. They got a couple of drives on us, and I mean everything worked. Their 2-point conversions,
Yes.
touchdowns,
Yes.
every play. Even that catch, they talk about the Julio catch. What's the man, Edelman? Yep.
Edelman.
Caught that ball like this.
Yep.
And he was so focused that he wouldn't let the ball hit the ground. And I was like, please, Lord, let that be an incomplete pass. When he caught that pass, it was like, here we go. Anyway, Julio, to me, made the greatest catch that I have ever seen, bar none.
I'm telling you.
I mean, the circumstances, the situation, any kind of way you want to look at it, Julio made that catch. That's why, you know, when people, they got mad at Julio, I'm like, man, I ain't mad at Julio. He did what he did, but he still got enough brownie points with me that I'm just going to let Julio live. You know, I ain't going to say nothing bad about him. He made that catch.
Was an amazing grab on the side like that.
Because I thought Matt Ryan was throwing the ball away.
That's what I thought.
I thought he was throwing the ball away.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And when Julio caught that ball, and they, now I don't know if they did it on TV, but it was a challenge because they said that he was out of bounds.
Right.
So, you know, it was quiet. And when the referee came in and said it was a good catch, I looked at Devil Dog, and these were my words. Julio just saved the Super Bowl for us.
Wow.
He said, what do you mean? I said, all we got to do is run the ball.
Thank God.
If we don't score,
right,
kick a field goal, game over. That's what I said. And I'm sitting in the seat. I'm just sitting there. I said, oh, game, I'm just waiting for the clock to run down. We're going to get out of this game. It might be close, but if we score one more time, game over.
Game over. Right. Yeah.
The very next play.
Talk about it.
I thought Matt Ryan was going to go under center. I thought he was going under center. And we was going to milk the clock.
Sure.
And before I could say, what are we doing? Matt Ryan was on the ground.
Right.
And I said, uh-oh.
Yeah. We
are going to lose this game.
Yeah, because that's the play too. That leading, so that's the play where I said, well, wait a minute, why are they in shotgun? And he got
I thought he was going under center.
And I was like, well, I said, what the hell's going on here? Because I said, yo, just run the ball. I mean, you had two really good running backs, man. So I'm like,
well, what's
Coleman.
Not Freeman, the other one.
Coleman.
Coleman was hurt. He was injured.
Yeah.
But even with that, Freeman was killing them.
Sure.
Freeman was having his way with those guys, and everybody's saying that he missed the block, but that was not the scheme, though.
Right.
You know, in my opinion, Freeman should have had the ball in his hand. He should have been the first one to touch the ball after Matt Ryan got the ball. That was our bread and butter up to then.
Right.
And you could just and all the air got sucked out of the when Matt Ryan got sacked and then he fumbled the ball, all the air came out of the stadium because the defense was gassed.
Sure.
You know, and the fans were done. But I mean, they knew. We knew. It was another Brady comeback that there was nothing we can do about it.
So you going into overtime, right?
Yeah.
No, they get the ball, they're driving, right? They're driving. Like I don't even think the rule wasn't there at that time where we had an opportunity to get the ball back anyway. That rule wasn't even there at the time. If I'm correct on that, if I'm wrong, somebody let me know. But I don't
Nah,
even know if rule
if you score a touchdown, the game is over.
Yeah, game
and
is
I never
over.
thought that was fair.
Right.
How you gonna give one person a chance offensively, but you don't get the other team a chance offensively off of a flip of a coin?
But like, I did think when he got sacked, I said, like what? So I didn't know, so Kyle Shanahan to me is somebody who takes a lot of the blame. And I don't know whether or not, because his reputation kind of follow him, Dirt, right? I mean, you go to the 49ers, you're up 10 points twice on Patrick Mahomes, and you blow those games too. So, at that time, he was very young. I mean, he's still a very young head coach. I mean, look, if the Niners get rid of him, Kyle Shanahan have a job tomorrow, to be honest with you. He does do some great coaching stuff, but I just thought that he mismanaged the play calling. Now you're there at the stadium, so what are you seeing from Kyle? Or are you seeing anything from Kyle? Are you
Man, that entire sideline was dead, man. You could tell the division
right
in the team, because that offense did not want to pass that ball.
Right.
Before when the sequence of the bad event. Right. You could tell the division. The division of that team was apparent because I mean, even from flag football to now, you run the ball, man.
Sure.
Hey man, this is therapy. You know what? This shirt that I got on, I've never worn it until today. It's been in the
and
in the back of the closet.
Right. And the reason why I wanted to do this show is because I want to show people the different sides of our fan base. We have some great people in this fan base. There's people in this fan base that are so amazing at what they do. And I would have loved to experience that. Then again, I don't know if I could have experienced that. You know what I mean? Because if you're watching the sideline in this house, in my house, it was quiet as a church mouse because they knew the Patriot fans that were my family could not cheer. So they were uncomfortable because I made them uncomfortable in my own house. You couldn't cheer here. My wife was like, babe, why you acting like that? I'm like, yo, I said, do you know what type of scrutiny? And look, social media was social media in 2016. Can you imagine social media now? And the Falcons just blew a Super Bowl in the social media age of right now. Can you just imagine? Can you imagine that?
It would be some video therapists making plenty of money.
You listen, for me, right? And listen, Slitter's not here. He came and went. That's fine. But I agree with him. The only thing that you can do to cure anything that's happening with the Atlanta Falcons is to win a Lombardi. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that is missing. And this is why I wanted to do the show with Dirty, because I knew that he had first-hand knowledge experience going to that game, which is a game that in NFL history, it's going to be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. I don't even think that even the Buffalo Bills, who went to 4 straight Super Bowls, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, experience anything like that. I'm just saying. This is just my opinion. So Dirt, let's go back to it. So you're looking at the sidelines, they're dead already. Okay. What's like what are you going through on the stands? What are the Patriot fans saying right now? Like, what are they doing right now?
Hey man, like I said, truth, if you're out there, we got to talk about this. But the Patriot fans stood true to what they said from the beginning. We got this. We got. They never once said we. They got a little quiet, but they never said that they were going to lose. And
Right.
even when the offense was calling plays, this how much swag they had.
Right.
They got as quiet as they could so Brady wouldn't be disturbed on the field. They wasn't cheering when the offense. Now when the play was moving, but when they was in the huddle and when they were calling cadence,
right,
the people that was in my section, those Patriot fans were very quiet. And we were trying to break them up, but they were very, very quiet and respectful to let those guys operate without any distractions.
So the Patriots win. Did you see the celebration? Did you stay for the celebration? Were you in shock? Was Devil Dog with Devil Dog and you out there? Were you in shock, my brother? Like,
hey man,
what was your state of mind at that point?
I was stunned. Well, it was kind of like swimming underwater and you're trying to go from one end to the other. And you got a few strokes left, and you say, "I can't make it. I can't make it." It was because I was holding my breath. And when the guy, I think his last name was White, when he made that touchdown, he was on my end. Right. He made the touchdown. I had been taking pictures. I had been, just enjoying the Super Bowl. I stood up. The confetti came down and all of that. And I heard something hit the floor, and I never looked down. That's how stunned I was. I found out later I dropped my camera. So I lost that.
You were in a state of shock, kind of.
I was in a state of shock, man. I just stood up, and I was like, took a deep breath. I said, well, I had to come up with something else to help me cope with it. I said, well, I came to the Super Bowl. I remember saying it. I came and I saw a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
which by the way is a rarity for a fan to go to a Super Bowl. Just by the way, I've gone to games. Dirt's gone to games. I'm sure people in the chat going to games, but to go to a Super Bowl, even a playoff game, Dirt, it's a rarity that a lot of us don't even make it to. So. Salute to you for that, like that, and then plus at face value, like what you said earlier, Mr. Blank gave the tickets at.
Shout out to Mr. Blank, man.
Shout out to Mr. Blank,
and that right there, just speaking on that part, like I said, people, some people say that Mr. Blank don't care about the little guys. Man, do you know how much money Mr. Blank could have made off of those tickets?
Sure.
But he gave the regular Joe,
right,
like me. Right. PSL owners.
Right.
I mean, where it was season ticket holders then. Sure. An opportunity to go to a Super Bowl. Now, mind you, myself in '98, because I had family in Florida.
Right.
They was like, come on down, man, hang out with us. I was like, nah, I'm good. But when we did, after that, I said, if we ever go back,
you go.
I'm gonna go. And I didn't know that many years later, almost 20 years later, that the opportunity will come to me that way. And like I said, I just shout out to Mr. Blank, man. He, I think it was 5,000 tickets.
Yeah, especially giving an opportunity to those 5,000 fans to get the tickets at a face value. Even that alone says a lot about the owner, You know, he takes a lot of flack. He does, but again, what businessman doesn't take flack? You know, it's never going to be exactly how people want it to be, sometimes, right?
Right.
So, you know, so you're there, you're in shock. How was it like leaving the stadium?
Well, I kind of left the way I came in. You know what I'm saying? I was quiet. I was like stunned.
Oh,
But
man.
but now, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog.
Yeah,
I saw grown men crying, man.
that's that.
We went to catch the Uber back
Right,
to where we parked. We was gonna catch the Uber,
right.
and I heard this one guy, man. He was crying, man. He was with his 2 kids and his wife. He crying. I'm talking about boo-hooing. And it was like, Daddy, it's gonna be okay. And he was like, I got $39,000 in this. And I was like, oh my God. 39,000. And but then there was another lady that was in line with us. I guess the man made her kids cry
Right.
because they were crying.
Right.
And the mother was like, well, what's wrong? They said, we lost the game. And this lady, she said, what did I tell you all before the game, before we went in the game? And
Right.
obviously the older kid said that somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
Sure.
He said, exactly.
Sure.
And I was wow.
I mean, you know, the first image that I saw post game was I think it was either Arthur Blank's son that came up to him crying, or it was a young fan that before he went into the locker room to console this young man. So I'm pretty sure there was people that were kind of, you know, I mean, even myself, I was just like, oh, like, what the hell just happened? I had to take a moment. I definitely took a moment. You know, I definitely said to myself, hey, like, I need a moment, you know, because I'm going back to deal with a 2-year-old. Like I said, my son was 2.
Right.
So I had to take a moment, right? And when you look at it, you're like, wow, like this is, you think it's gonna last forever. You know, the thing, which by the way, it has, because you know, Matt Ryan and them say it's not a day goes by where somebody doesn't mention a 28-3 joke or this and a third. Obviously, it's not as brutal as it was years ago, but it's still there. The sting is always going to be there. The reputation is always going to be there because, you know, as you know, we've blown games after that in the regular season.
And that's why, and really, that's why I don't get excited. And I think that, you know, like you said about the social media and you know, and after years after that, I got into this content creating, just following guys, and I think that a lot of people that I comment on their channels, they kind of take me the wrong way because I'm looking at it from a different angle.
Sure.
You know, I mean, like I said, the fan thing, there are different levels.
Sure.
And how much are you committed? If you're sitting at home and, you know, for whatever reason you're watching the game, you're going to see things one way because you're going to go by what you see on the internet.
Sure.
Me, I got a lot of other factors in it that motivate my view.
Right, because when you go to a live game, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have that commentary from the TV.
None of that. You're not influenced at all.
So again, you're watching, and if you're a student of the game and you love football and you're sitting there watching the schemes and stuff like that, that's what you're watching. You're not watching commentation from whoever.
No commercials.
There's no commercials. There's none of that. And sometimes it does take long to do certain things on the field. Like, people don't know, when I went to the Kansas City game, which was a primetime game, and you were there as well, like, it was such a, I'll never go to an 8 o'clock game. first of all, by the way, it takes too long to do anything.
Right.
It takes so long to do something in a primetime game, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And listen, look, not to take away from, you know, whatever type of fan you are, but whatever type of fan you are, that's your business. Dirty is a PSL owner, has been a PSL owner since 08, maybe before that. And he kind of, that's probably something that it's embedded in him already to go do that. Those 8 weeks, he already knows, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So to get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, this show is not to deter you, it's to motivate you. Whatever happens is going to happen. I mean, I don't think the Falcons are ever going to lose the way we lost 28-3 again. I doubt that ever happen.
Nah.
Again. So it's to motivate you guys to say to yourself, you know what? If there's an opportunity for me to do this or an opportunity for me to go here, listen, this is what that is. But again, it's coming from a different angle. Dirty has a different angle than the Wolf. He just does. And I like to talk to more people like Dirt that go, or even somebody that has a different way of looking at things. It's not a problem for me. But to say that somebody who experienced firsthand the debacle, the pain live is so much different than you watching it on TV. I promise you that. So, Dirt, you're walking out the stadium, people are crying, this, that, and the third. What are you already thinking next season? Are you already thinking that? What are you processing at that point? Are you like, okay, it's get back time. We got to get back into the Super Bowl. We like, what's happening? Like,
well, here's the thing. Now,
mm-hmm.
Looking at the roster that we had and who were coming back, I had high hopes for the next year because of the roster.
Yes, sir.
2017, I thought I said, man, we got to be able to repeat what we did.
Sure.
At least get deep into the playoffs.
I think so. Yeah.
But
we did, but we
weren't like
good.
Yeah, but looks like we kind of, I guess it's like taking a small spoon of poison. Sure. It polluted us and seemed like we just kind of went downhill from there. And Shanahan left. That was that a lot of people were glad he left, but then we had to come in with the new OC and then we went through to embrace the suck, and I was hoping to see a change in the head coach,
because I don't think Dan Quinn was one of those coaches that can galvanize a team the way he lost. I don't think he was the right coach to galvanize the team at that point. But again, I think that a lot of people don't give Arthur Blank credit for, I think, keeping the good ones that he wants a little bit longer than what he should. I think he kept Dan a little bit longer than what he should, because I think he did that with Mike Smith. I think Arthur Smith got an extra year. Raheem's got going on his second year. So I think he doesn't want to be known as somebody who's not a stable owner. Our counterparts, with our rivals, which are the Carolina Panthers, their owner has owned the team since 2018, has gone through 7 head coaches. So I don't think Arthur wants to be known that type of ownership and stuff like that. I think he wants a stable ownership. But yeah, it was kind of, I think I agree with you. I think that those guys were not the right guys to galvanize his team the following year. I agree with you on that. So I think we fell short. But again, this is what I'm saying. Since that 2017 run, and when we lost to Philadelphia, we haven't been back to nothing. Now you're a PSL owner. What has it been going to the games these past couple of years? With all the inconsistencies, like now moving on past the Super Bowl, and we're past all that, and we've talked about that. What is your opinion on that? Being a PSL owner and being kind of subscription based model, you subscribe to going to 8 games, right? You're committed to going to those 8 games. What has it been like for you? You know, just you yourself. I don't want to know about anybody else, but I want to know about you. How do you look at the past couple of years?
Again, like I said, it's all about commitment, right? So I'm already committed. So I didn't want continuing to be a PSL owner to be a strain or a stress. So I looked at it as I'm going to enjoy the experiences as we go, take the good with the bad, because like you said earlier, man, I don't think it's going to get any worse. And kind of demand and hope at the same time for a better team, for a better outcome. Mm-hmm. So, and I started like doing more tailgating and I go into the stadium earlier and just kind of walk around and just embrace the experience more than just getting there like a lot of fans do. A lot of fans, man. And this is another thing that about the Falcons fans, man. You know, they get to the seats at the last minute. They're not really into it like when other teams, Chicago come to town, they take over the stadium. Green Bay, they take over. When Washington come this year, I think their fans are going to take over because of the hype from last year.
The city definitely took over last year. When we took over,
Oh, and you know what? I had never experienced with the Chiefs. You know, when they did the national anthem, and they was like, and the home of the, and they must say Chiefs, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they said that at the stadium. I was there. They definitely said that. I was like,
oh my God. I was like, oh. I said, and why can't we be that way? I want, and like I said, when I in the content creator streets, you know, that's why I'm kind of infamous, but that's cool.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
But I have a problem with someone coming on such a powerful platform, because this internet is a powerful platform, and you know, and not encourage the Falcon fans.
Right.
You know, don't talk about them. They got enough. We got enough on our shoulders. We got enough on our backs.
Sure.
So hey, let's come together. How we gonna come together and support this team and at least do our job? Because we got a job too.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, like I've always said, Dirk. Like I think that sometimes people have a misconception, of each other, because a lot of us don't meet each other in person. We meet each other on the internet, so they have some type of maybe misconception. Me personally, I enjoy people who can experience somewhat a little bit more than me in this space, because I can't experience that. I wish I was a PSL owner. I just can't. I live in Jersey. I can't travel 8 times a week down there, but I do try to go to as many games as I could. You know, but like again, I think that people think that, especially on YouTube, I think people want you to look at things their way, because their way might be the easier path to look at. You know, when you travel and stuff like that, or when you spend money, it's a very difficult decision that some people can't make that distinction, right? And then you start getting people like that. It'll be like, oh, this and all that, and it's like, listen, bro, like, chill out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I think that the Atlanta Falcons also have some fault to this because of the mismanagement and the decision making. And then you have a fan base that's broken right now. At this point, the fan base is broken. And 11 games or 13 games from Michael Penix or this year does not make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. sports.
Not to me.
Right. And not to me neither. And this is when people say at this point, oh, the Wolf, he's a downer. It's always this. No, I'm not a downer. I've never been a downer. The only thing I do is tell the truth from what I am looking at, from what I am seeing. I can't look through Dirty's eyes. Do you know what type of stuff? Like, do you know if I was in Dirty's shoes, if I would have went to the Super Bowl and had to walk out that stadium, and it would have I would have had to probably brawl with somebody because I would have been so pissed off that God knew to keep me in my house and keep me safe from having to hurt somebody. And because again, Dirt, and I think I talked to you about this, Dirt, and I think I told people, I come from a soccer background, Dirt. If that was the World Cup, which it was equivalent to the World Cup, the Super Bowl, there would have been people kidnapped that night. I keep
Come on, man.
Listen, if anybody is watching right now, you watch the replay or whatever the case may be, go watch the Escobar, the 30 for 30, the World Cup, where the Colombian guy made a mistake. Colombia lost the World Cup. They told this man, don't come back to Colombia. Well, goes back to Colombia because he said it's just a game. Gets unalived, and 5 of his family members get unalived. That's how serious it is.
Wow.
Okay? If you don't believe me, go watch the Escobar 30 for 30. You'll see the whole thing. They unalived him for that. I'm not going to say the K word because YouTube is very fickle right now, so I'm going to say unalived. So that's where I come from. That's the background I come from. My father always taught me it's boxing, soccer, and then after that, whatever. And I said, well, why is boxing first, Dad? He said, because you're going to have to defend yourself first, especially if you're going to talk crap to anybody else and blah, blah, blah. Because, listen, fans get crazy. They just do. So for me, I respect what you do. I respect that you're a PSL owner. I respect that you have that type of commitment, because a lot of people, they can't do, not that they don't want to, it's just that they can't do that. They're not financially in the means to do something like that. So for me, I congratulate you, brother, and I hope and pray that when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 1, that you enjoy yourself with a W. That's all I'm going to say for now. But is there anything you would like to say, there? Anything that you want to get off your chest at this point? I think we're like an hour in. Anything that you want to say, man? Anything that anything I missed or anything? Go ahead, brother.
Like I said, just kind of, I'm proud to be a PSL owner. I was once a season ticket holder. But like I said, it's a commitment, and like I said, it's different levels to being a fan. Now you can't knock the fans at home because they're watching it on television, so they're helping the networks out.
Sure.
However that goes.
Right.
And then the people that live in Atlanta that are season ticket holders, they leave their homes and they have to go, get downtown, they tailgate or whatever. That's another level. But then you got the people that travel from out of state. Quite a few of them. Sure. Then you got those that not only travel from out of state, they travel to the away games as well, which I'll do once, maybe twice a year. So now these people, they got a different level of commitment.
Sure.
Financial commitment. But all of us are fans.
Sure.
That's the foundation
of
this Falcon Nation.
Sure.
Everybody, we're all fans. We're all on the same team. But like, you got your basic workers, and then you got your mids, and then you got your supervisors, and you got managers. Everything has its levels.
Sure.
But we need to come together as fans, and with this content creating thing that's out there now, we can spread this Falcon thing far and wide.
Sure.
Just get support. Just like Miss Maggie T got the boys coming from Scotland, wherever Ireland, wherever they at.
Sure.
You know, they're doing their thing on the content creators.
Right.
You know, on AFN. That's what they are.
Yeah,
But
I mean, listen, I think that it's because listen, to me, everybody's a super fan. If you love your team, I think everybody's a super fan. I think that there's people that just, shout out to the Falconator, shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He recognized it. Listen, shout out to the Bird Lady. I'm not trolling. I'm just trying to get you to take accountability for what you've done. You know what I mean? Shout out to the what's the other guy? Dirt. I've seen him around once or twice. He wears a Darth Vader mask. I forgot his name. He's like
I took a picture with that guy. I don't know who he is, but I've never seen his
face. Shout out to him too, man. Yeah, shout out to him too. You know what I mean? I met him. I met him up here when we were playing the Jets one time. I met him, but he was masked down, like this is who I am and stuff. So listen, man, salute to everybody, man. A lot of people think that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always a Debbie Downer. I'm not a Debbie Downer. What I do is I try to look at things from my point of view because I'm not from the South. I'm not from the South. I'm from the North. I love my Falcons. I'm a proud Puerto Rican Latino. I know we have a lot of Latinos that love the Falcons. And I just represent that. I'm an American. I love to be for my country. I chose the Falcons. The Falcons chose me. I remember before we go, my trophy was a starter jacket, an Atlanta Falcons starter. That was my trophy. Right. You couldn't wear a starter jacket in Jersey unless you was about that life, because they were stealing people's starter jackets and they wasn't taking mine. They never took my starter jacket. I think I got some memorabilia that's in boxes from back in the day, my starter jacket. That was my prize, Dirt. I'm a proud Falcon fan, and I know you are too. And I hope that week 1 for you goes according to plan. I hope you have a great time. We'll talk before then. Yeah, bro. So, like, if you have anything else to say, Dirt, man, now's the time. I'm
gonna speak about that game, man. You know what? Yeah. I'm as normally the first game. I'm kind of okay. I'm gonna fill them out.
Yeah.
See what's happening. Last year, you saw what we got against Pittsburgh. I was upset about that because of and just my opinion.
Oh boy,
man, why didn't we play? I'm gonna say it like this: why didn't we handle preseason different? I'm gonna put it like that.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own opinion or whatever, and so now with that in the back of my mind, and we're doing the same process. Okay, Raheem, that's what you want to do. Fine, Coach Raheem, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But they say insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different outcome.
Sure.
Okay, so. Why would we expect to get a faster start than we did last year? Yeah, we got new quarterback. We've got all these high flying players, but it's all about the coaches.
Yeah. Well, I think that you know what? We'll come back and talk about that, because I think that you hold an opinion of probably half of the Falcon fan base right now on that. Because when you see other teams there, and we've talked, Joe Burrow's playing whole quarters, Patrick's playing whole quarters. I think Lamar played a couple of quarters. I think Josh played a couple of quarters. I think every quarterback kind of went a couple of quarters. So I think you hold that, but we're going to wait, because I want to bring you back on before the game. I'm going to see if we probably schedule something next week. You know us, you know me. I'm going to pop up when I pop up, but I'm going to bring somebody else on that I think you'll like. Rest Warm, he's out there. I hit him up. He's working and stuff right now, but maybe you guys can go back and forth on that, because of the fact that I think that you guys look at it just a little bit differently, but
Okay.
kind of the same sentiment. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, hey, why are we not going? You know what I mean? And I don't know, what that is. But to be honest with you, I never paid too much attention to preseason till now because of the fact that a lot of people are making it such a big deal that kind of I'm like, okay, let me see what's happening. But we'll come back and talk about that, man. But Dirt, man, pleasure talking to you about this, man.
Man, appreciate you.
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure just to go through the emotions with you, man, and not long-winded, an hour and some change. Good company. Yeah. Hey,
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank, read that. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Listen, man, it's your boy Wolf, man. My first live back. Had to get somebody that was really, really a pleasure.
Man, it's a blast, bro.
Hey, man, becoming a friend to the Wolf, and the Wolf and 330 have we hadn't speak for a long time. I think the last time me and Dirty had spoken was when I went to the Kansas City game. So, and I've been speaking to him so much and stuff like that since that time. I think it was a big gap that we didn't talk. But man, one of my peoples, man, I respect this dude. This dude is a diehard Falcon fan, super PSL, knows his stuff. God bless you and the family, Dirt, man. Definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
And like I always say, man, remember to get your life up, not your likes. You know what I mean? And I'm out of here, man.
Peace.